Stop chasing, man. How y'all feeling? Y'all get on in here. Y'all get on in here. What up? What up? What up? How y'all doing this morning? Good to see y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up? Candy, how you doing over there? Good to see you. Forever free in the building. She said, I am great. I am thankful. Thanking God for his love. I'm blessed and highly favored. Let's go. Y'all already know I love the energy, man. Get in here. I hope y'all were you know, locked in this weekend to whatever it is, right? I'm not just saying the charts. I hope y'all were just present with yourselves this weekend. I had a great weekend. Again, my biggest thing lately has just been clarity, like being with myself and continuing to gain clarity on some things that I'm working on, right? And sometimes your presence is the thing that's needed the most. You know what I mean? Like don't ever let that get lost. Right? Sometimes your presence is needed the most. Like in this like attempt to get somewhere, sometimes the thing that you need the most is to just be where you are. You know what I mean? Sometimes we're so preoccupied with either the past or the future that we forget that the very thing that's going to bridge the gap is where we currently are. All right, so I've been really locked into that. Wise, what's going on, man? Arletha, how you feeling over there? Jamie, what up? Drew, what's going on? It's good to see y'all. All right, y'all. So look, top of the week, Monday. I think it's going to be an amazing week. Again, when you claim the day, when you claim the week, it has no choice but to produce something because your words are that powerful. All right, so I'm setting the intention that this week, not only do you all get clarity, but you are locked in and present to each moment and not too consumed by what you want to bring into your life, not too consumed by what you want to change about what's happened in your life already, but understanding that the magic lies right where you stand, right where you sit, right where you are. All right. Um, this morning I am grateful for presence. Right. I'm grateful for the ability to be able to change anything by just simply being. All right. And I set the intention that this week you guys feel that you guys get to witness and experience the power of your presence. All right. How y'all feeling today, man? Y'all let me know in the chat something that you're grateful for. All right, we're gonna jump into the charts in a second, but again, I want to hear it. I gotta see it. All right, what are y'all grateful for? How was y'all weekend? What's something that stood out to you? Talk to me. Kelton, what's going on, man? Yeah, listen. We're gonna have a powerful week, right? Here's the thing: we always gonna get to the money, but to me, the money is secondary. I want to make sure that y'all are good. All right, the money gonna be there. How y'all feeling? How are y'all feeling? Anything exciting happened this weekend with y'all? Anything that you want to mention? Mm. Ooh, some nice fresh spring water in the morning. I needed it. Being blessed. There we go. Daphne, how you feeling over there? It's good to see y'all. Again, look, as you guys come in, do me one favor. Doop, hit the like button. Doop, hit the like button. Doop, hit the like button. Stop playing. All right? Come in, hit the like button. I'm gonna give you everything. Whatever moves me today, you're gonna get that shared with you. Right? You're gonna get the level shared with you. Whatever wisdom, lessons, whatever comes from me just being here and present with y'all, you will receive. The only thing that I ever ask you for is just a doop. It's a simple like. All right. So look, y'all, we're gonna go over some levels. I got 3 stocks that I want to look at in particular first. Once we get through those 3 setups and my opinion and approach to those, I'm gonna flip it back to y'all. Y'all gonna let me know what it is y'all want to see, and we'll do further analysis on those. All right. Before I go forward, I gotta let y'all know something. All right, make sure this thing is on. All right. I am not a financial advisor by any means. All right. So anything that I say on this broadcast, guess what? It's not financial advice. Okay. I am up here on YouTube doing this for entertainment and educational purposes only. If there is something that inspires you that you decide to pursue, guess what? That is an individual pursuit. You are going and doing that on your own. All right, this is based off of your homework, your due diligence, your research. It is not based off of an advisement from me. Okay? Also, any results that I may discuss in this broadcast are not typical and they vary from person to person. All right? I just want to get that out the way. You know what I mean? I don't want none of y'all being like, he told me to get it. Nope. I never told you to get into anything. I told you what I saw. I told you what I was getting into. I told you what people might have gotten into. Right? And their results. And maybe even a little bit of, hypotheticals. But never will I tell you to get into something because I'm telling you to get into something. All right? We just got to get that clear, yo. We got to get that clear. Candy, let's see. Okay. Yeah. Y'all talk to me. Talk to me. Candy said, I was able to spend time with my nephew over the weekend, and I'm grateful that he will be coming home soon. God has kept him after spending decades in shackles. Man. I'm so glad that you were able to talk to him and see him. And yes, like, God bless the day that he comes home. All right, it's getting near. It's getting near, and I'm grateful that you got a chance to see him, and hopefully it's very soon. Kevin said, "I'm grateful that I keep gaining clarity and confidence on this trading journey." There we go, man. You've been staying the course. You've been staying the course. That's what happens. Little man turned 3 on Friday. My B-Day on Wednesday. I love how my boys are evolving truly. Hey, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Hey, Wise, I didn't know you was a Virgo. I think you might have told me you was a Virgo. Virgo season in the building. I'm not a Virgo, but I'm a Capricorn, so I get along very well with Virgos. That's Beezy. What up, man? How you feeling? You said, welcome today, feeling truly blessed. There we go. Ash Cash in the building. What we reporting from, Ash? What we in Brazil today? What we reporting from? Genesis, what up, man? There we go. All right, y'all. Again, as you come in, do me a favor, hit the like button. Doop. Yo, listen, by like 5:30, we should have at least 50 likes, y'all. Seriously. If you on here and you've been on here, this is not your first time, man, come on. You already know the drill. And if you've gotten some sort of value, go ahead and hit the like button. Super simple. All right. This is, like I said, this is, of course, selfishly and selflessly, right? Selfishly because, of course, it helps the channel. That's obvious. But what it also does is it lets YouTube know, like, hey, man, this guy, he know a little something. Like, maybe we can go find some more people that might need to hear this. All right. So never think, this is the thing. I want to get this clear, and I won't harp on this too long. But we have this issue with a lot of things. It's called blending in, right? It's called being a fly on the wall. It's called removing our significance. This is a real phenomenon. I want y'all to understand this. I've done some research. This is the real reason people don't like stuff. The real reason people don't like stuff is not because they hate. And you know how people be like, oh, my family and friends, they they see my stuff and they don't like it. I think sometimes that might be a little bit of ego. That might be a little bit of you wanting a certain result and not getting it. And you think that the people around you are going to help you get it when in reality you just got to go a little harder and let a little bit more time go by before your time comes or before the world is ready for whatever you're doing, right? So that's one thing. Sometimes we can get in our head about likes. The real reason that people do not like stuff is the same reason that people do not pursue things for themselves. A lot of times, people do not believe that what they have to say or do has any sort of impact, right? They like, man, he got all these people watching. He got all these people liking him. Like, he not going to miss my like. Yes, I will. He don't need my like. Absolutely do. All right. All you got to do is doop. That's why I use that sound effect, because it's so simple. Right? People think that their one little like is not going to help. But guess what? What if everybody thought that their one little something wasn't going to do something? Your one little something is huge. And it's not just for me. Anything I tell you going to have two meanings, at least. You not liking something, yes, of course that would help me out. But what it's also saying is that you don't see what you do as valuable. When your voice starts to expand and you start to see yourself in a different light, you know that every little thing you do makes an impact. All right, so it's not just one little like. It's not just whatever, oh, he'll be good. It's like it's you stepping in and voicing your opinion, you contributing to the conversation, right? You getting active, you getting in there and not just being off to the side and ducked off and laying low. Look, I got something to tell y'all. This is something I've been working on, right? And it's something that is moving in the world right now. Your laying low is no longer a thing, y'all. You're being ducked off and out the way. It's not noble anymore, right? Especially to my introverts, right? Especially to my people like myself, right? I'm an introverted person, right? But there was a time in my life where I had to be like, you know what? There's power in people that don't say much. There's power in people that kind of lay low. But I'm telling you though, if you're that type of person, this is no longer the time for you to be in that space. It's time for you to be more visible than ever. The world needs the things that you've noticed from being a fly on the wall all this time. It needs that perspective. It needs that voice, that contribution. All right. So it's going to be pretty uncomfortable for you for the next few years as you're transitioning into a more visible person. But I'm telling you, it is now the time for that. We've been in the era where it's been all about the people who've been comfortable doing that, and they've taken it to a place like deeply into oblivion. And it's time to reel it back in and ground it a little bit more with people who have a more grounded perspective, a more, like I said, a more fly on the wall approach to something, a little bit more care with this whole thing we call life. All right, so that's just something that was on my heart, something that is very, 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 very true, becoming very, very apparent. And if it's kind of been something that's been sitting on your heart, that like, damn, I gotta, you know what I mean? Like you start seeing things in a way that you wish you would do it a little bit better. You know, with a person who doesn't act on the things that they wish would be better, they just become low-key a hater at some point. And you don't even know you're turning into one. You just look at the world and you're critical of everything that's happening in the world around you. Like, man, I was there, I'd do it like this. I was on there, I'd do it like this. I do it like this. Nigga, do it. Do it and say it how you would do it. How you want the world to be and sound and feel, you got to do that. You got to be that. You feel what I'm saying? All right. That's it. That's all. I mean, I'm not gonna go too far on that. We got levels to look at. Doop! You already know, Q. Liz, how you doing? Good to see you. Phoenix, what's going on? Good to see you. Jacusa, what up? Hey, Candy, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Got the little bun. You know what I'm saying? Put the little bun in this time. Yeah, I appreciate you. All right, let's get into these levels, y'all. Let's get into these levels, man. Again, if you are just joining, man, listen, we done already talked about a lot. Go back and watch this from the beginning once you get off here. All right, please go do it. All right, we're about to lock into three levels. I'm sorry, three stocks that I'm looking at this week. I'm going to show you exactly what to do in them, and then I'm going to turn it over to you to see what y'all want to see. All right, again, as you come in here, let's run these likes up. I just saying 59 viewers. They probably just went to a commercial break just now because I'm, monetized and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm monetized. You know what I'm saying? So I just seen 59 people on here. They probably got hit by a commercial real quick, but they'll be right back. All right. So as y'all come in here, again, just continue to like that, to hit that like button. All right. Hey, I appreciate you too, Liz. I appreciate you for saying that. Yeah, I tried something a little different today or yesterday. Or really Saturday it was that I got there. All right, let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. All righty. All right. So first things first, I got Nvidia pulled up. Already drew this out. It's on my weekly watch list. I'm gonna just break down exactly what I'm seeing. All right, I'm seeing a double bottom. We got that right here. We got that double bottom off the 200. Okay, this is looking at it from a daily perspective. All right, so we got the double bottom, one touch, came up neckline, came back down, second touch. We come back up. This happened on the 4th of August, Tuesday. And then the next day, on the 5th, we broke above the neckline. And we started to take off a little bit. However, people thought it was a little expensive because you gotta keep this fail 2 up in mind right here. So it started to fade a little bit and we pulled back. Now we are perfectly aligned of retesting the neckline right here and preparing to break out. So we formed a bull flag to pull back to retest the neckline. Really good setup. All right, really good setup. All we need to do now is see it break and close outside of this bull flag. All right. For those who are new to the lingo, a bull flag is just simply a move up, a strong trend up, a slight pullback that doesn't exceed 50% of that up move. And then it's confirmed once there is a breakout of this pullback with a confirmation signal to the upside. All right. So we'll know this is a pullback once we get a bullish confirmation. All right. It may not be a pullback. It may be more like a correction or whatever, right? If it pulls back further. If it pulls back further than 50%, which will be like somewhere around like 213, then we know that it's not a bull flag anymore. It probably wants to come and retest a lower level. All right, so I think this is a very clean move. Here's what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning, whether that is today, whether that is tomorrow, to take entry on this play about 10 minutes before the market closes. All right, this is how you determine what a stock is doing on the day, right? You have to let the market pretty much close, and at the last minute, you're able to, or last 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever, you can go in and take entry based off of what has been done that day. So what we want to see, again, is we want to see a bullish close, a green candle that closes outside of this flag structure. All right. We're going to determine levels by simply measuring the move. And then from there, we're going to break it down on how and when we're going to get out. The way we're going to break down how and when to get out is not just on this measured move. That's one way to find the target. We're also going to break it down just based off of how long you're in the trade. All right. So I want y'all to see something real quick. This is the breakout. This is assuming that the breakout happens like tomorrow or something like that. Right. This is about 2 candles away. So we're assuming that the breakout happens tomorrow. If the breakout happens tomorrow, what we just did was we took the distance of the up move on this bull flag and we just simply attached it to the breakout point of the bull flag, and that is giving you your final destination. All right, so we're going to take a horizontal line and we're going to draw that as the final target. All right, final target. So this yellow place right here, this yellow line, that's the final target. All right, now the final target is what I see as like the ultimate level that it's going to go to. When MRK broke out of the falling wedge, it consolidated and it made waves up, and then it made another wave up, and then it finally made a bull flag. And then we drew the bull flag, and then we did the same thing, measured move, and it showed where it was eventually going to go in this particular breakout. Right, same here. It broke out of this downtrend right here. Again, came up, made a neckline, came back down, made a double bottom, but all still outside of this trend line, right? So now we are up here trying to get to the final leg on this stretch of breakout, and we're using a bull flag to help us get there. All right, we can't really determine exactly how long it's going to take, but a good rule of thumb for something like this on the daily is to give it at least a month or two, right? Give it at least a month or two to get there. If you are looking for shorter term swings, you don't want to go further than a fair value gap fill for the first target, which would be right here. The high of the bull flag for the next target, which will be right here. So we're talking about you get a break and close outside of this bull flag. First target could be something like, we'll say a gap fill. So we'll say about 224.50. All right, 224.50 will fill this fair value gap. The next target will be about 228.17, which is the high of that bull flag. The next target you could put up here at the point of reversal, which will be about 237. All right, and then the next one obviously would be up here at 254.80, which would probably take a lot longer. Okay, but that's what I'm seeing on NVIDIA. I think that's a really beautiful opportunity for the week. It could be some intraday opportunities. I'm not looking for an intraday opportunity today because I needed to confirm first. Right now, I can't tell whether it wants to continue downward or if it wants to go ahead and break out of it because we had such a bearish close on Friday. All right, so I'm giving it a little bit of time to actually show us what it wants to do. It's sitting right around break even in pre-market right now. So again, there's still no way to fully determine what the sentiment is. So we just got to wait for price action, and even smarter would be to wait until the end of the day to see how it closes. All right, so that's NVIDIA. Next up, we got AMD. All right, so AMD is in this channel right now. Let's look at it on the weekly real quick. All right, so AMD is in a channel. It's in a bull flag on the weekly. But again, unless you're looking for a much longer swing, we're going to break it down into the daily. So what's happening right now is it's sitting in the middle of a channel. All right, this channel started back in May, and it's been consolidating, right, making a high, coming down and finding a low, coming back up, and it's starting to get a bit more narrow and trying to essentially narrow out into a point or a wedge. All right, at that point, no pun intended, we will be deciding which way to enter, which direction to enter. It could break down outside of the wedge, which could, bring it down to the 200 here to fill this fair value gap right here. Or we could break up to the upside and then, go in at minimum, retest these highs up here at about 582, 583. All right. So what I'm going to be looking for is the same thing that I was looking for on NVIDIA, is simply a close. All right. Simply a close outside of, hold on real quick. Y'all, is my mic good? Do y'all hear me fine? I just noticed something. Do y'all hear me fine on the mic? I'm sitting here, yeah, but I'm just making sure it's coming through clearly. Take this intermission as a moment to hit the like button, y'all. You said, will earnings affect this? Earnings absolutely impact things, but it could further your your analysis, right? It could put you closer or further, you know what I'm saying, like towards your target than a normal day. Mike is fine. Okay, perfect. That's all I needed. Maxine, what's going on with you? Good to see you. You pop on here every now and then, but I see you. I see you. How you been? All right, Liz said Tesla and Walmart. Okay, all right, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a second. Busy. He said busy just filled Matrix 5. He's playing Neo. Hey, you a funny dude, man. D good, what's going on, man? All right, y'all are hilarious, man. Y'all really be getting me. All right. So let's see. Yeah. So we don't have earnings on on AMD for quite some time. So I'm not sure if that question might have been about Nvidia. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So this it's in the channel right now. We just want to see it break out of the channel, whether that's to the upside or the downside. When it decides to do that, when we get a close either direction, then we can be looking at directional plays, whether it's a call, it breaking out to the upside, or a put. Again, if it breaks out to the upside, depending on where the first thing, like say it takes till down here for it to break out, then obviously the fair value gap will be the first target. If it breaks out above the fair value gap, then again, we're just going to be looking to take this to the high of the channel. All right. Because of the amount of time it's spent in this consolidation, this may be like a 30-day swing minimum. All right. There'll still be plenty of opportunity to make money in it. But we just want to give it a little bit of time because it may take a little while to push to the highs. All right. So that's AMD. Last but not least, what was the last one I had? Oh, last but not least is Netflix. All right. Last but not least is Netflix. Netflix is essentially the same analysis that we've had forever. You're gonna see it appear. So this analysis has just been here, and it's just happening. All right. So again, we just need to see it break, and we are going to be targeting these three levels: 87, 91.50, and 100, which is right here at the bearish order block. All right. 87 is right where the 200 is. Right. So that's a critical level, a level where it could reject. But it's definitely the place in which it is trying to get to. So if we can get above 83, I like it. Or if we pull back and get a bounce here at this order block, I like entries there for this wave to take us up to 87. All right. So Netflix is pretty simple. Again, it's already in a breakout. It's just it's just a consolidated breakout. It's a real tight channel on the breakout, but it is broken out, right? We have reversed this downward move that we've been in since April. All right, we have reversed it. We have confirmed to be on a trend up. It's just not moving as quickly. All it's going to take is catalyst, right? All it's going to take is one day for it to really kick into gear and then, get to that first target and beyond. All right, so I'm just going to be kind of like waiting. Like I said, a nice little pullback in the reversal would be a great entry. Even a pullback into this bullish order block would not be bad if that happened this week. Somewhere around like $76.50, $77 would be ideal for entries if we can show reversal at that order block. All right, so that's what I got, y'all. Again, as you come in, let's get these likes up. Look, we almost at 50, y'all. Great job. I appreciate y'all. This is what I like to see. All right, Doop, hitting that button. All right, we just got 8 more likes to get to 50 halfway through the broadcast. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I appreciate y'all. All right. Hey, appreciate it, Mark Quinn, man. Yeah, just, what I'm saying? Just got Got them done. I think this is the first time y'all see me put them in a bun. So yeah, I appreciate it, man. He says you fine. I'm doing good, Maxine. Man. What's up with you? How you been? Talk to me. What's going on in your life? How you feeling? It's been a little minute. You know what I'm saying? I went from we used to talk every day. Now it's like I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't even know me no more. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right, let's get back to y'all. What do y'all? What would y'all like to see? Let me close some of this stuff out. I got all this stuff up. This shit is crazy. All right, what would y'all like to see? What would y'all like to see? Nat in the chat, how you feeling? Sound 100. Okay, cool. I appreciate it, Cortez. All right, again, y'all, as y'all come in, y'all hit that like button for me one time. Doop, that's all I need from you. That's all I need from you. I think somebody said Walmart. So while y'all are putting what you want to see in the chat, I'm gonna just go ahead and break down Walmart, and we're gonna go over how we can make some money in Walmart. Yeah. Okay. I love that Walmart has been falling because when it finally breaks, y'all see we already got the downtrend drawn on. I love that Walmart has been falling because when it breaks, it just has such opportunity. All right. So what did we get on Friday? We got a doji, right? We got a reversal signal, right? This is a reversal signal. It's indecision, but it is coming at the end of a down move. Where are we? Where are we in the greater scheme of things? This is almost a perfect retest of levels, right? One would say that we could come down as low as 98.86. So these are the two bottoms that I want you guys to mark down. Mark this down. Mark 98.94, right? And you can even label it as potential bottom. And then I want you to mark, let's just say like $94, which is this order block right here. So we don't need to put anything there, but just this order block right here. All right. So 98.94, and then about $94, right? 98.94, $94. Those are the lows that I want you guys to pay attention to. All right. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to extend this. We're going to stretch it. We're going to stretch it all the way down to this order block. All right. We're going to stretch it all the way down to this order block. And honestly, we may need to do this because the little bit of time that they spent out here did create another level. So we're going to go like that. We're going to adjust the trend line, right? Because it didn't really spend any time outside of it based on that, right? We did have a little a little consolidation right here that brought it outside of where we just had it. So it looks like just based off of how it's fallen, that this is the actual trend right here. All right. So what we want to do is we want to mark the 98.94 as the low. You can set a notification. 94.24 or $94, 90, the range of it is 92.50 to 94.50. That's the range of the order block. Write those levels down as levels that you will start to pay more attention to Walmart on. Can Walmart reverse right now and then go pick up these fair value gaps? Absolutely. But Walmart would be even more powerful the moment that it breaks out of this downtrend. All right. So I do not want you guys to get too confused or too caught up in Walmart because you see a reversal, right? And then we could possibly have a green day today. I don't want you guys to front run Walmart. I've seen a lot of people front running Walmart and trying to get into Walmart calls, and it's still being in a downtrend. What that is called is a counter trade. You're taking a counter. I don't care what something is doing on the day to day. If it is not in the trend, it's a counter trade. And you're saying that even without it saying that it's fully ready to reverse, not just reverse the day, but reverse the trend, right? This right here is just reversing it on the daily, right? So that means that this move right here, okay, it can reverse. We can get a confirmation, and then it might come up and retest the fair value gap, maybe even come into the fair value gap. But guess what? Even if it fills this entire thing, it could touch this trend line and get slammed all the way back down to this bullish order block. So from my perspective, right, my humble opinion, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you to get into anything. I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing. The only time that I would be like, okay, yeah, it's a go on a call would be a reversal and a confirmation at this order block. That's the only place under the trend line that I would be willing to take a call. Anything else would have to get above the trend line and close in order for me to say, okay, this is no longer a counter trend because the trend has been broken, right? It's not a counter trend trade because the trend has been broken. This is now the direction that it's going in. All right, so we want to wait until this is breached and closed above, and then we can start thinking about calls. Anything else is really put city, right? You want to be looking for rejections. You want to be looking for opportunities to short this. All right, that is on trend. That is letting the trend be your friend. All right. Again, no taking calls on this. Again, I can't tell you what to do. It's your money to win or lose, right? But if I'm bringing my experience, right? What's it been, like 7-8 years of experience at this point? I'm saying that I've seen this plenty of times before. And I've seen a lot of people lose money thinking that they're going to have the exact entry of when the trend is about to change and they're going to get ahead of it. Instead of just being patient and waiting for that trend to just go ahead and change. All right. So that's Walmart. What else I got for me? Doop. You already know, Marcus. You already know. All right, let's do it. We're going to do Uber, iBit, Apple. Let's get it. Uber, iBit, Apple. Y'all, we 3 likes away from 50 likes, man. Doop. Hit that like button. All right. When I flip back, I want to see 50. All right. So we said Uber. Y'all already know I call Uber for long term. All right. I think Uber is in a great place for long term right now. I really love what's going on in the world of robocars, right? And Uber, you got to understand, is going to have to replace. So this is what's happening to gig economy. I want y'all to get this. Let me just paint the picture for you really quickly. All right, because again, I've mentioned before that there's a possibility that that AI is a bubble. When I say that, what I mean is not that AI is not going to be a thing that we use. The possibility of it being a bubble is just that more money has been invested at a faster rate than the acceptance of it. All right, hear me. So the possibility, not saying it's going to be one, but the possibility of it being considered a bubble is money being invested in it at a much faster rate than the acceptance. All right, this has happened plenty of times. I'm gonna give you a few examples. Right, we got Meta glasses. What was the bubble of that? Google glasses. You see what I'm saying? Like, there have been plenty of versions of something being introduced and money poured into it, but it was a little too soon. All right. So the more that time is going on, that option is still in the air because right now we just got massive investment, massive investment, and enough time has not gone by to really see how it's being accepted and integrated. It's just pure speculation. People just being very, very, very excited, and there's a phenomenon that is taking place, y'all. There's a phenomenon that's taking place in humans that I don't think I've even heard a single soul talk about. We, if stocks are based off of human psychology, right? If candlesticks and price action is based on human psychology, right? If we're following candlesticks, that means that human psychology is important and it's relative, right? That means that whole markets can shift behaviors when the psychology of humans change. All right? Whole markets can change behaviors when the psychology of humans change. I believe that we are going through so many things that we don't have names for yet. There has never been a faster introduction of new technology than in such a tight window of the last 25 years. And if you're a millennial or anything above, you understand exactly what I mean. We've literally seen everything. And it's been when you look at history, a lot of things were these revolutions were over the period of people's whole lives. Right? It wasn't just this overnight thing. We've gotten so many things crammed into one. So what does that create? That creates a sped up nature, right? That creates a change and a shift to long-term thinking and long-term investments and getting things like bonds and things that are really great for your future. And it gets us into more of a gamified and gambling kind of a and y'all just bear with me. I'm taking this somewhere, all right. Into more of a gamified and gambling type of a personality, right? Gambling itself is at a new high. Why? It's because people are battered and abused and are healing. And their relationship to money is also shifting, right? When shit ain't going well, sometimes you just say, fuck it. So there's a lot of people that are trying to recover from losses, major losses, from this unpredictable market that we've been in under this administration. So a lot of things might take longer to recover that have went bad. And a lot of things that have not gone bad yet may be that second wave of like just abuse that really discourages a large amount of people from investing, making some of the opportunities take a little bit longer. You understand what I'm saying? This is one that's kind of already gone through that cycle, right? Robo-taxis did not get widely accepted initially. They've been trying to push this for a while, but I do believe that the time is coming very soon, right? I live in LA, right? I see a lot of tech hits the streets before it hits the streets in a lot of other places, just major cities in general. New York, Miami, Los Angeles, right? You're going to see a lot of San Francisco. You're going to see a lot of the tech hitting the streets, and you're going to start seeing and hearing the conversations far before it gets to a lot of places. And people are not afraid of the robo-taxis anymore. In fact, they prefer them, right? It was a time where people were like, didn't your mom tell you not to get in the car with strangers? And then that was people's reason for Uber, I'm gonna call it the old school way, because it's not a thing of the future. The old school way with the driver being a stranger, that was something that people were just like, why would somebody just get in the car with a stranger? But what they forgot was that we don't respect platforms anymore, right? Because technically a taxi was getting in a car with a stranger, but there was a platform in front of it that gave you trust. Now we're like, yo, we kind of trust the tech companies to do the vetting, And like, yeah, we're good. All right. So eventually, people, like initially, people were rejecting getting in the car with strangers. A lot of people passed up on the investment opportunity, and then boom, it just became a thing, a phenomenon. Right now, we are in that phase of people being like, I'm not sure, or whatever, but it's being widely accepted in major cities. And the next thing you know, like the robo taxis, carless driving is about to be the thing, and not just in cars, but delivery. You know, with drones, with mini jets, with airplanes, they are removing people from first position. All right, Uber is along with Tesla is at the forefront of this. All right, massive investment in this, right? It all kind of goes along with privacy and stuff like that. I'll talk about a little bit more about that with another stock that we're gonna talk about a little bit later. Even though I'm running out of time, I'm gonna get to it. Point being made is that Uber is pulled back significantly, right? Uber is pulled back significantly. This is just from a fundamental perspective. Yes, some people may see this as a possible head and shoulders. When you're looking at this when you're looking at this on a daily, it could possibly be a head and shoulders, right? So we do not want to lose sight of it possibly falling, and then this neckline here at $70 being breached, and then it falling more. That's not off the table. However, right, I do not believe that this is actually going to fall any further than that neckline, right? I think we got a solid support there, and I think Uber is going to start rallying like nobody's business, right? This is why I'm starting to accumulate shares. Y'all know I have not missed on an equity play yet. Telling y'all to get into something for the long term, whether it's leaps, whether it's equities. Go and look at the stats. All right. If I'm telling you something long term, I've done the research, I've vetted all that stuff. And again, it's not financial advice. I gotta say that, right? I'm not telling you to do it. It's for entertainment and for educational purposes only. But it'd be a good idea for you to turn your attention to this particular space, especially if you don't like Tesla per se. All right. Now, in terms of what we could do in the weekly, like or this week, I should say, we just in a major channel, y'all. And this is another reason that I believe that a major explosion is on the way, because we've been in a channel since February, right? We've been in this channel since February. Look at this. Look at this. We finally got a bull flag right here, right? And a bullish engulfing. And then just the other day, Friday, it was a little pullback because of OPEX. But this thing is ready to blast off at minimum to about $84. I think way beyond that. But the reason that I'm getting equities is because I don't want to go through the major dramatics of any pullbacks and all of that stuff. I want to be able to sit in it and forget about it and just know that in a few years it's going to be where I want it to be because of the onslaught of these robo taxis. It's so much on the way. They're in the early stages of it, and again, they're just testing. Like it's like you test the major markets. If it go over on the major markets, it's to the world. They've done it over in China in the Eastern world, right? They've got it here in the Western world on the West side in the major cities. People are taking to it. All right, so there's something to keep in mind. Uber again on the daily is already broken out of this bull flag. I would be looking at it to get above about 80.50 and then looking to ride it to about $84. All right, I know I spent a little bit of time on that one, but my bad. Let's go Apple. Again, y'all continue to like this up, man. Y'all continue to hit that like button. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I'm here every morning, 5 a.m. for those whose first time it is. All right, I'm on the West Coast, 8 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. Going over levels. All right, looking for opportunity for you to make money. All right, make sure you hit the notification bell. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss money. If you don't like making money, then you can just, ignore everything I just said. All right, Apple, I'm going to be quick. I don't see anything. I don't see anything, right? Not just yet. I'm going to have to read price action. For the sake of time, this will be something that we have to revisit because I don't see anything that's apparent on Apple. Let's go and look at OKLO, and then we'll do Tesla. All right. OKLO. Okay, LO, obviously is in a major downtrend right now. It looks like it's trying to test up above this 21 right here, but it's falling right back below after getting knocked down by this bearish order block. It tried to go up and retest the 21 again, and it got knocked down again on Friday, and it's opening up 2% down. If this can break below $40, which is a major psychological level, major support, then I would be interested in taking this, down into the mid 30s on puts, continuing to follow the trend. That'd be a trend trade, on trend trade. All right, but as it stands right now, I don't see anything that says that this wants to go in the up direction. Okay, this is looking more bearish to me. So again, I would just be looking for possible entries to the downside, but once it breaks down below $40. All right, Tesla. Tesla had a powerful day on Friday. Tesla is in the midst of closing this fair value gap. It's been doing so for the past 3 days. No, really longer than that. It started August 4th, filling the gap. All right, and it's just been every day filling the gap in this little uptrend that's in right now. I don't see why it will stop. What I see happening for Tesla is it being pulled up by this 200. So we should continue to close in on this gap. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some sort of pullback first. So you may want to wait on that instead of just out the gate getting on and being like, oh yeah, it's going to fill the fair value gap. Let it pull back a little bit because it has been pushing up, for quite some time. So let it pull back a little bit, and you may even get a better entry to take it to fill this fair value gap, or even up to this 200. All right. So right now, Tesla is like it's a no take right now. But again, if we can get a pullback on the day, and possibly retest a level or two, right? We will we will look for entries to the upside on a reversal and confirmation. So this might take a little bit of time throughout the week to get. Also, it may, like I said, today just decide that it wants to go and break above Friday's highs. If it does that, then it absolutely will close the FVG today. All right, that's Tesla. Between Google, Waymo, Tesla, and Uber, I feel only one will become the verb of robotaxi. Somehow Uber became a rideshare adverb. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Irving, Patrick. Like I get that, but you got to think if it's transforming driving, and not just driving, right? Like cars are going to get smarter. That's something that we didn't really go deep into. Cars are going to get smarter. So not only is it just going to be you getting to your destination without a person in there, it's going to start like tending to you, preparing itself for you, like pretty much catering to you in so many ways. And it's not just giving people rides. We're talking about courier services. We're talking about grocery runs. We're talking about the delivery for your food and groceries. We're talking about so many different avenues that robo-taxi is going to. We're talking about long trips, buses, so many different things. And yes, there will always be a battle and a competition, in a capitalistic society. But I believe that Uber is a very trusted name when it comes to transporting people and things, right? So from an agent perspective, or like a fleet ownership perspective, Tesla may be the one. Google may have it from a perspective of intelligence, right? But transport, I believe, Google. So transport, I believe Uber is going to be the king. So it's going to be interesting to see what we as a nation value the most. It's just something that we got to wait and see. But Uber, I think, is definitely going to be a front runner in this because it already is in this particular space. All right. All right. Let's do iBit, and then we'll shut it down because I got to get up out of here. All right. But yeah, this has been a great live. Again, shout out to everybody that's new. Also, look, I gotta say this. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about it. I've been to the moon, yo. I've been to the moon. When you look at this, just real quick before I get on my soapbox, double bottom, right? Boom, came down. Neckline right here, double bottom right here. We're breaking above this bearish order block, which we've been doing a lot of in crypto. And it looks like it's coming to start to test this neckline right here. Above this neckline, I'd be very, very interested in calls. Very, very interested in calls. Super bullish on crypto. And you guys already know that. All right, so IBIT above the neckline, sitting at about 46.73, would really open up my my interest to getting into calls. Also, it may come down and want to retest this 200. So do be careful. It has created quite a bit of fair value gaps. But again, I think that this is going to be a fair value gap that takes a while to close because we are in a very bullish state in crypto. All right, I'm gonna flip back to y'all real quick. Again, y'all, I told y'all I'm super bullish on Ethereum. I think Ethereum is one of the cryptos that have one of the best use cases. I feel like your boy Buderick is getting his swag back and low key back in his bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he really, it's anybody who's ever owned a business for an extended period of time, there can be times where the grind just feels like, all right, I'm just doing this and whatever. And, you had a reason that you started something in the beginning and then you kind of lose it. And then you just kind of going through the motions. But then when you get that next reason, that's usually the thing that really takes it to the next level. And you can see this in so many versions of CEOs with companies that have taken their companies to the next level. All right, it's just like it's still humans running a company at the very end of the day. So sometimes the ebb and flow is not just technically related; it's fundamentally related. All right, so I feel like he's back in his bag. I pay attention to the people running companies very closely, and I just seen some things with what he's rolling out and how he's speaking and stuff like that that just give me a lot of confidence. Also, from a technical perspective, we just been breaking level after level. I told y'all down at 1,800. Go ahead and grab that. We sitting at 2,500 now. It could be higher than that now. I don't know. All right. Based on technicals and fundamentals, which I don't have enough time to go over, I see Ethereum going to like 10 to 15,000 in about 18 months. It is a powerful crypto that actually will be the thing that supports the only likely transition from where we are right now to a more digital world, which is the financial institution as we know it going onto the blockchain. And there's no other crypto to support it that like Ethereum can. And they're working out all the little kinks, all the little complaints that people have had. They're addressing it all head on. All the reasons, why it's not at the value that people think it could be. They're addressing it all. It's severely undervalued. If Bitcoin starts to go like it's going to go, there is not just fundamental but technical analysis that show that when it breaks out of this range that it's been in for the past 5 years, it is going to go silly. All right, the confidence is going to really grow at the breaking of all-time highs. All right, 3,000 is another level where confidence grows. Confidence grew at 2,500. It grew at 2,100. These are all levels. Yeah, things got to go a level at a time, right? But understand like the type of money that's going to be flowing in at these different levels, right? So again, when we get above all-time highs, that's when people are going to be really, really wishing that they understood that monthly close above 1860. All right, Ethereum. I'm trying to buy one every week. I'm trying to buy a couple every week for real. That's where I'm on right now. All right, so yeah, that's it for now, man. I appreciate y'all. It's always love. Appreciate y'all being on here, talking to y'all, all that. Also, like I said, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Prosperity Collective. If you're looking for a place to trade and actually make money and actually connect with like-minded individuals and get the support that you need and not just be, a very small fish in a big ocean that gets no attention, you know what I mean? The Prosperity Collective is where you want to be. you want to really dig your hands into this and get dirty and learn this stuff and have support the whole way through, man, this is the way to go. The link is in the description of this video and all my videos. Like, subscribe, share. Y'all already know. All right, I appreciate y'all. Much love to the family, TPC. I see y'all. Shout out to y'all. Listen, remember this one thing. All right, I'm going to leave you with this one thing. Invest smart so that you can live free. And I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.